Today we're going to be making a apple spiced margarita. And one of the ingredients that goes into this apple spice margarita is sweet apple cider. So we decided to go up to the Skytop Orchard in Flat Rock, North Carolina to buy some of this cider to put into our margarita. And we are about 15 minutes away, so we'll pick up when we get there.
So there it is, next left, see?
Next left. Okay, here we are. We're getting close to it. This is where we're going, Skytop Orchard, where you can pick your own apples, but the pick your own thing has ended for the season. So it's 500 yards. All up here is like apple country. There's lots of apple country in North Carolina, at least in the area that we're in.
Here's Skytop Orchard, open.
Open 9 to 5. They're only closed on Thanksgiving Day, and they're open until December 1st, and then after December 1st they are closed for the season. There it is, Skytop Orchard.
Welcome, open 9 to 5. Huh, I thought we'd be the only ones here. Now, what are you talking about, these donuts?
They have apple donuts here. Remember those apple donuts we used to get from Apple Hill? They have apple donuts here. They have apple cider. Of course, you can pick your own apples, but that's ended for the year. We're here to get the apple cider, but I think we're going to get some apple donuts too because they're really good. All right, let's see, walking in here. I wonder if that's where you get the donuts. Cider. Donuts. It's cold here. Hey, aren't these those? Look at this. Look, it looks like a duck.
It's just like a duck. It has eyeballs on it.
Is that bizarre or what? Check this out.
Those are eggplants, it says.
These aren't eggplants, these are gourds. But look, it's got eyes on it, like a bird of some sort. That is a trip.
It's weird.
These are cool. This is an interesting looking one. Huh. I think because we're kind of out of season that a lot of the stuff here is pretty much gone, but that's okay. We didn't come up here for all of this. We actually came up here specifically to get the cider. But let's go see the orchards here. All right, so we ended up with 1 gallon of fresh apple cider. This was actually just pressed this morning. And these donuts literally just came out of the oil minutes ago. In fact, she told me to crack it when we get in the car because there's heat in here. They're still hot. So, I mean, you can't get any fresher than this. So we got apple cider and donuts. Oh, I'm so excited. These donuts, I bet you, are so good. Okay, well, we got our donuts and we were gonna sit outside on some of the park benches to eat, but it's 49 degrees out here and it's windy.
It's cold.
It is freezing up here, and it said that the high today was gonna be like 60 or something, so I wasn't too worried about bringing a jacket. Thank God I put on pants and a long sleeve shirt because it's cold. To me, 49 degrees is really, really cold. So we got our donuts, and like I said, you know, I think this is because it's the end of the season. There's really not a whole lot going on up here. Most of the apples were gone. They do have like jellies and apple butters and all kinds of things to buy, but most of the racks were empty at this point just because they're getting ready to close for the season.
Ask people if they know do you know what to do with apple butter? We didn't buy any because we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, we're not really sure what to do with apple butters, but we're going to dig into some of these donuts, so.
They look good.
They do look good.
Did you get a napkin?
No, here, hang on a second. I've got some napkins in the car.
They smell wonderful.
These literally just came out of the oven just moments ago, so
they smell
they're still
amazing.
warm.
You can smell the cinnamon and the apple. And you know me, if it's not chocolate, I don't want it. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Let me try mine. Oh, wow. Yeah, those are good.
It's delicious.
I got sugar and cinnamon all over my face.
I don't even care.
But yeah, these are good.
You know what's in them?
I have no idea. Probably just like regular donut stuff, but they taste like apple. Well, they're
cinnamon.
apple cinnamon donuts, so that pretty much tells you.
They taste delicious.
But it was worth the drive. You know, we're gonna make this apple spice margarita when we get home. We have to stop and get some Cointreau on the way home, and I think we need to get some limes too. We don't have any limes. It calls for limes. So we're probably gonna have another donut, one more each, and then we're gonna head out, and we'll see you back in Simpsonville. Well, I'm headed into Harvard's Wine and Liquor ABC store here in Simpsonville to pick up some Cointreau. We head home and make some drinks. All right, well, I just came out of the ABC store. I didn't want to film in there because there wasn't hardly anybody in there. I'm not sure if they really would appreciate that, so. But I got the Cointreau. I got a little bottle of it because it's not cheap. So,
oh, really? How much was it?
You don't want to know. It wasn't that bad, but it's more than I was expecting it to cost. Okay, well, welcome to the first installment of Get Lost Cantina. Today we're going to be making a drink. It is an Apple Spice Margarita. Yesterday we took a trip up into North Carolina to an orchard to pick up some freshly pressed apple cider. And this also calls for, it calls for reposado in the recipe, but I have añejo here. It's a centenario, I guess it's called añejo, which I believe is a step up from the reposado, so I'm going to be using that. It also calls for Cointreau, some lime juice, and that's pretty much it. But the first thing that we're going to do, grab a paper bowl. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a something to go around the rim of the glass, and that is going to be made with sugar and with cinnamon. Very simple. This one calls for 3 parts of sugar and 1 part cinnamon. So I'm going to do that by the teaspoon. Yeah, sorry. So there's 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 teaspoons of sugar, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Very simple and actually pretty tasty. So I should have a stove for that. We'll just mix this together here real quick. Just make sure it's all uniform in color. I'll tell you that it's nice and mixed well. So pretty simple, there's that. And then what I'm going to do next, because I'm going to use some of the lime juice to put on the rim of the glass before I put it into the rim flavoring. I don't know what they call that. But anyways, we're going to just go ahead and squeeze some of this lime juice here. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to actually be doubling the the recipe. So I'm gonna get 2 drinks out of this, but I will put up on this video at some point a just the recipe for one drink if you want to. So anything that you see here, just know that I'm getting 2 drinks out of this versus just 1. Okay, cut to after I was finished with the limes that I struggled with. First of all, I cut it wrong to use that little reamer thing. And then, yeah, that took a while, so got rid of that part. All right, so I'm going to be using a little bit of this lime juice here to rim these glasses. Dunk it right here in the thing. There you go. There's 1. And there's 2. All right, perfect. So, again, I'm going to be mixing 2 drinks at one time. So I've got actually here, because it calls for each drink, it calls for a ½ an ounce of lime juice. I've got a full ounce here. And let me start off by saying I am not a cocktail mixologist person by any stretch of the imagination. I don't have one of those shaker things. I used to have one, but when we moved, I got rid of it. Never used it. And so pardon my clumsiness in doing this. And another thing too is you could probably hear these these guys out here blowing my neighbor's leaves. First of all, this is the perfect time of day. This is the best lighting I can get in this kitchen, and this is the right time of the day to do it. It's a little bit overcast today, so it wasn't ideal. And then the second I come down here to start filming, they turn on their blowers. And I'm waiting, I'm peeking out the windows, and I see these guys. I mean, these guys have to be in their, they look to be maybe in their early 30s. And they're out there and they're blowing each other with the blower thing, and they're laughing. It's like a scene out of Zoolander, I swear to God. Strange. At least they were enjoying their jobs, so I can't fault them for that. Anyways, so the next ingredient is going to be the Cointreau. I'm going to put in 2 ounces of that, because each one calls for 1 ounce. 2 ounces there. Next item is going to be the tequila. At least use a reposado. I wouldn't go with like a silver, because they're typically, to me, they're kind of peppery, and I don't care for that. I like smoother tequilas, and you're going to find that in the reposado and the añejo. So I'm going to put in 4 shots of this, because each drink calls for 2 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the final ingredient is going to be the apple cider. Now, the recipe that I found online called for sweet apple cider, which I don't know if that means that they've added some sort of sugar or something like that to it. I feel that this is pretty sweet. It's just fresh pressed apples. It was just pressed yesterday. I mean, it's pretty fresh. And when I asked the lady, because I didn't know if there was really a difference, so I asked the lady at the orchard, you know, if she carried sweet apple cider, and she looked at me like I was crazy. Like, she goes, I don't know what you mean. we press the apples and put it in a jug. So I don't know if sweet apple cider is a thing, but this is what we're using. We're using just fresh apple cider. And this one calls for 3 ounces in each drink. So I'm gonna be adding 6 ounces here. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then let's stir this up a little bit. For lack of that cocktail shaker contraption. I guess I have to buy one of those, because we made these Adios so-and-so drinks here a couple weeks ago, and it would have been good to have one with that as well. But we do not. We'll put some ice in the cups or the glasses here. There's one. I love this refrigerator because it fills up the ice water, and there's like a tray in there that fills up, and once it's done filling that, it continues to put overflow into the freezer. There's a big like box in the freezer that it puts it, so I always have plenty of ice. It's fantastic. All right, so let's move this out of the way. Get this out of the way, and we